This is a very basic talk on adjective. My target audience are not the students who are at advanced stage of English learning or the candidates who are ready for CSS, PCS, ICS or other competitive exams. My prime objective and my prime target is the candidate, is the student who lacks resources, guidance, support or who is even unable to comprehend trajectory of grammar and composition despite the fact they have got books and everything. Hello viewers, welcome to Virtual Civil Services Academy by Z.A.Langah. And in today's talk I will be speaking on a very important part of speech, that is adjective. Guys, if you recall, I have already spoken on what is subject and predicate, what is phrase and clause, parts of a speech, and I have also given detailed talk on noun and its kinds, noun number, noun gender, formation of nouns in detail. Adjective is an important part of speech, and all candidates, all the aspirants who want to learn English grammar and composition must have sound understanding of adjective, because adjective does the same work as makeup, good clothes, decent dress and beautification does in human life. Adjective is important part of speech, and in this talk you will learn what is adjective, what are its kinds, how adjectives are formed, and how adjectives are used as interrogative, how adjectives are used as exclamatory, and much more. This is a very basic talk on adjective. My target audience are not the students who are at advanced stage of English learning or the candidates who are ready for CSS, PCS, ICS or other competitive exams. My prime objective and my prime target is the candidate, is the student who lacks resources, guidance, support or who is even unable to comprehend trajectory of grammar and composition despite the fact they have got books and everything. My simple object is to impart knowledge and to provide guidance to them free of cost, and I will also be offering free of cost consultancy to all the aspirants of CSS irrespective of their region through my YouTube channel Virtual Civil Services Academy by Z.A.Langah, and I will also be available on my email address, on my WhatsApp, on my social media pages. First of all, we need to understand definition of adjective. What is adjective? So guys, adjective is an important part of speech, and we can define adjective as a word which is used with a noun to add something or its meaning. More specifically, it can be defined that adjective is a word which is used with a noun to describe quality, number, quantity of a noun or a pronoun, and it is a very important part of speech. And if you understand this, you will be able to play with English. So even more specifically, we can say that adjective is a word which is used with a noun or a pronoun or any naming word. As you know that naming word can be name of a person, place or thing to describe its number, quantity, quality. So I hope that you have got clear definition of adjective. Understanding of adjective is important, especially for the new beginners, because learners, new young aspirants, because adjectives can be used in many ways. Now I will give some examples and try to define and explain how adjectives are used in certain sentences. Good boys don't make noise in the class. Here the word good is used before noun boys, and it tells us about the quality of noun which is represented by noun boys. So This same word good boys can be used in other way. The food they served at the meeting was very good. We have used the word good in the second sentence, but it is used at the end of sentence. It is part of the predicate. And here in this second sentence, good has been used predicatively. So there can be hundreds of examples of adjectives. Like I have 5 cars. Here in this sentence, number 5 adds something to noun. It gives us the number of cars. It is thus adjective of number. Similarly, he is a great speaker. Here in this sentence, great defines the quality of noun speaker. So adjectives can describe quality of nouns. Not only numbers, not only quantity, but also quality. Then adjective can be used as demonstrative adjectives. Like I say, I like that book. I like that book. Here the word that is used as demonstrative adjective that refers to a certain book, that book. So as from these examples, it is clear that adjectives can be used as attributively, which is used at the start of sentence before noun, or it can be used as predicatively, which means it can be the part of predicate, means including verb and its extension. Depending on the use of adjective, we can say whether it has been used predicatively or attributively. Keep these things in mind while writing and speaking. You use these kind of words regularly, but in exams you are asked to distinguish use of adjectives as predicatively and attributively. Until and unless you have got firm command over definition of the adjective, and you have studied the adjective as a part of speech, you won't be able to properly define it. Therefore, if you are new beginner, if you are young, if you want to learn English and want to get firm mastery over its usage, you must learn these things. And also not only to listen my talk, but you also have to refer back to the books, study deeply and then practice, because practice is important for new beginners, new learners. If you don't practice, you may not be able to get mastery over anything, even if it is grammar or if any other subject which you are studying for competitive exams. I hope that you have got understanding of use of adjectives and how it is used attributively and predicatively. So now we learn about kinds of adjectives. Different grammarians give different kinds of adjectives, but I believe that there are 6 kinds of adjectives. Adjective of quality, adjective of quantity, adjective of number, demonstrative adjectives, interrogative adjectives, and finally emphasizing adjectives. Now we will study all kinds of adjectives in detail. I will try to explain each part in detail with examples so that you could also understand those kinds and then could use in your daily communication. So we will now learn each kind of adjective in detail. First of all, we have adjective of quality or descriptive adjective. Descriptive adjective simply tells us about the quality of noun or the naming word, which can be name of a place, person or thing. It can also tell the kind of a noun or person, place or thing. Like he is a good boy. Here the adjective good tells about the quality of boy, that he is a good. Quality can be good or bad. Like simply we can also say he is a bad boy. Or we can say that Hyderabad is a big city. Here it simply tells about the size of Hyderabad, that it is a big city. This is an old building. Here the word old is used before the word building to define the quality or description of the building, which is old. So these are the usages of adjectives of quality or descriptive adjectives. As we learned a short while ago, that these similar words can be used as attributively in the start of a noun, or they can be used as predicatively as a part of the predicate, means verb and its extension. I hope this is clear to you. Now we are going towards adjective of quantity. Adjective of quantity simply describes how much of something is. Noun, person or places. It describes persons, places or things. Like, there is some milk in the glass. You have no sense. Do you have any books on grammar? So adjective of quantity gives indefinite number of certain nouns, pronouns or things, like some, any, great, no, large, whole, half and all. So like he ate some rice. You have no care for your studies. All men must die. So adjective of quantity can indefinite number of certain things are the things which cannot be basically counted. I hope that adjective of quantity is clear to you. Adjective of quantity is basically describing word for noun, pronoun and places or animals or things, and they describe certain indefinite number, or the things describe quantity of things which cannot be counted. Then we have adjective of number. So again we have different kinds of numbers, and for the sake of clarity, grammarians have divided numbers in two types: the cardinal numbers and the ordinal numbers. The cardinal numbers give exact number like 1, 2, 3. I have one pen, two pens, like this, and these are called the cardinal numbers. And then there are ordinal numbers which give the order of numbers, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and likewise. But in addition to these cardinal and ordinal numbers, we have indefinite numbers, which doesn't convey the clear number. Several, all, no, many, these words doesn't clearly tell the exact number, and therefore they are indefinite numeral adjectives. Indefinite numeral adjectives doesn't tell the exact number. Now we'll go towards another type, which is distributive numeral adjectives. Like we see each, every, either, neither. These are distributive numeral adjectives, and they are also used to describe certain number of nouns, pronouns, places, person or things. Basic thing is that you have to keep in mind the basic definition of all, and if you are able to memorize all these things and their definitions, or make your own definition of all these words, then you can get mastery over these things and they will make your life easy. Then we have another type, which is demonstrative adjectives. You will also learn demonstrative pronouns in coming chapters, but there is another kind of adjective which is demonstrative adjectives, which demonstrate or indicate to certain nouns being referred in certain sentence while speaking or writing. Like, this book has 12 chapters. Here the word this is used before noun to demonstrate about the certain book. This is used for the things that are near, and similarly we can say that book has 12 chapters. Now here the same words does the same work, but difference is that that word demonstrates certain distance. That word tells that certain thing is at a certain distance. Similarly, this and that are the only adjectives which have got a plural and singular. For this we use these. These also shows nearness, and for that we have those. Those shows certain distance. When these words are used before nouns, we can say that these are demonstrative adjectives, because they refer to a particular person, place or thing, like helping verbs and interrogative pronouns. Adjectives also can be used as interrogative adjectives. It is all depending on their usage. Understand one thing in mind, that you have to identify the position of certain words in a sentence, and then you would be able to say that whether it has been used as adjective, interrogative pronoun or helping verb to ask certain questions. Similarly, now I will explain interrogative adjectives. Which book do you want to study? Here the interrogative word which has been used before the word book, which is noun, and word which has been used before it just to ask a question, and does the work of interrogative adjectives. What manner of man is he, or what kind of man is he? Simply understand the position of certain words. It is their position which defines their part of speech, not the word themselves. Different words can be used as pronouns, adjectives, verbs or adverbs, depending on their position in sentence and their proximity with certain words. We can say whether they are nouns, pronouns, adjectives, adverbs or what. So here the word what is used before noun and does the work of interrogative adjective. So guys, I hope that you have also got an idea of demonstrative adjective. It is not much difficult, it is very easy. Thing is that you have to grasp the definitions and then see the position of certain words. And lastly, we have emphasizing adjectives. These adjectives lay stress on certain words or even certain sentences, and again depending on their position we can say that whether they are reflexive pronouns or emphasizing adjectives. Like, I did work with my own hands. Now the word own has been used before the noun hands and does the work of adjective. It demonstrates or adds to the meaning of a noun. So it has been used as emphasizing adjective. Similarly, word very can also be used as emphasizing adjectives. Like, the very friend of mine took my books away. In addition to emphasizing adjectives and its use, adjectives sometimes can be used as exclamatory adjectives, like what genius, and mainly it is used with word what genius, what book is it, what an idea, what a piece of work is it. Keep in mind that it is usage, not the word that defines parts of speech. Different words are used in different parts of speech, and depending on their position in certain sentence, we can say that it belongs to certain part of speech, like it may belong to noun, it may be pronoun, it may be adjective, it may be adverb. It is all about their position in a particular sentence. At the end, we will also learn how adjectives are formed. There are three ways of forming adjectives. So most of the adjectives are formed from nouns, like sense, senseless, gold, golden, glory, glorious, man, manly, and gift, gifted. However, some adjectives are formed from verbs, like cease, ceaseless, move, movable, and talk, talkative. Interestingly, some adjectives are formed from other adjectives, like five, fivefold, sick, sickly, black, blackish. So I am done with the first part of our talk on adjectives. In the next talk, I will exclusively be speaking on the degrees of adjectives, how comparative and superlative degrees of adjectives are formed, irregular comparisons, position of adjectives in sentences, and correct use of some adjectives. Now, adjective used as nouns and nouns used as adjectives. In addition, I will also be speaking on a very big topic of adjective, that is article. I will be speaking in detail on use of definite and indefinite articles. In exams, you are always asked about use of articles, and you must be familiar with use of articles, the definite article and indefinite article. It is a very big and important subject, and once you are done with this one, you will be in a position to use and insert proper articles in proper sentences. So in this talk we learned about definition of adjective and its position in a sentence. Then we learned about the kinds of adjectives, how adjectives are formed and what are kinds of forming different adjectives. And finally then we learned about how adjectives are formed. I'm sure that if you listen this talk with your entire attention, you will be able to get mastery over this part of speech as well. So thank you very much. In the end, I would request you to please subscribe my channel Virtual Civil Services Academy by Z.A.Langah. If you are already a subscriber and have been regularly getting updates about my talks on different subjects, then you can share the links with the needy aspirants so that they may also get benefit from my talks. Thank you very much. Take care. See you in the next talk on the adjective part.